Hello, my name is Emike Oyemade. Today I will be discussing 15 things you need to know about sexual intimacy. This is strictly for the newlyweds. Maybe for the not so newlywed, or maybe for the about to get married. This teaching will also profit you. Now, one of the things that I discover is when couple are going to get married, they are excited about sexual intimacy. It's okay to be excited about sexual intimacy and look forward to it, especially when you have found someone you love, someone you believe you're going to spend the rest of your life together with. And again, if you have been keeping yourself pure, by that I mean if you have shown fornication and adultery and you are waiting to be married, it's something to look forward to and get excited about. But the truth is, sex in marriage is not the only ingredient that can give you a good marriage. So I am just going to give a few suggestions that I believe will help you in marriage. Now, one thing you must know is that sexual intimacy is an important aspect of marital life, because during counseling I hear people, especially people who have never been intimate before. They ask all kind of weird questions about sex. It's okay to ask those kind of questions because you want to get the air clear and you want to prepare your mind. Now, which is very good. As a counselor, I usually encourage couple to get as much information as possible before they get married. So if you are watching this video and you're gonna get married, you need to ask yourself how much information, how many books about marriage, and about your spouse, about having a good home have you read? What do you even know the Bible talks about marriage? Or are you just gonna get married because you feel you're old enough, or because you just have a feeling concerning someone you like? Well, the first thing you must know about sexual intimacy is that it is a beautiful gift from God. Now, when the first wedding took place in Genesis chapter 2 verse 24, God intended that sexual intimacy would be part of that union, and that is how it is at being today. Now you're going to ask me, how did I know about that? Remember that passage says that there shall be a cleaving. I believe that the cleaving there was referring to sexual intimacy. So it is a beautiful gift for God, reserved for marriage only. Now, what about people who have sex outside of marriage? Now, that's not God's idea. God's idea is sexual intimacy is a beautiful gift reserved for marriage. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18 says, flee sexual immorality. Every sin that a man does is outside the body, but he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. So sexual intimacy between a couple is a beautiful gift reserved for the married, and not something you should be in a hurry for. And my mother used to joke a lot about something. She usually would say, if you are in a hurry to have sex as an unmarried person, think about it. If God is going to keep you on planet Earth for 90 years, you may end up having sex for the next 60 years. So why be in a hurry to have sex? Now, the second thing you must know as a newlywed is that sexual intimacy is a cause for some breakup in marriage. Now, you're going to be wondering, is that really true? It is. The truth is, in marriage, aside from money, finances, sexual intimacy between couple is one of the things that brings about arguments. It's a big issue in marriage, because you often see partners where one partner is sexually satisfied, the other is not, and the other is finding it difficult to sexually satisfy that partner. So you must know that sexual intimacy in marriage can cause a breakup in marriage. Now, number 3 is that sexual intimacy alone cannot guarantee you ultimate satisfaction in marriage. So if your partner has already promised you to display some dexterity in bed, take you all over and just do wonderful things to you in intimacy, that is not enough to guarantee that you are going to be happy as a married person. Now, some people look forward to marriage because of sex, which is good, but it's not a guarantee. You have your own personal life, you have your goals to achieve, you have other aspects of your life. Personal satisfaction comes from inside, from within, from who you are. Some people don't love themselves, and so no matter how much a partner tries to give to them, they are not going to be happy because they don't love themselves. So no matter how much your partner display in bed, it depends on how you view yourself, how you like yourself in the first instance. Number 4, being married does not guarantee that your spouse is going to be faithful. Now, you will agree with me on that, because there are many stories of people who are married and they're not able to stay married to their spouse. So, to stay faithful, I beg your pardon, to their spouse. So, if you are currently in an unmarried situation and you have a partner who is cheating on you and you believe that marriage will change them, don't be deceived, my friend. Marriage will not change anybody who is unfaithful to automatically make them faithful. Marriage does not guarantee that your partner is going to be faithful. But if you have a partner who fears God, who sincerely fears God, have respect for the union, and loves you, that person is going to stay faithful to you. Number 5 is you must know that sexual intimacy should not be limited to a man initiating it. So you're married, and every time it's only your husband who is asking you for sex. Why should that be? It's not a man's game, it's a couple's game. And so the days that your husband is not asking, the wife should ask. The days that the wife is not asking, the husband should ask. It is not about one person servicing the other or one person making the other happy. It's about the couple in partnership making each other happy. Number 6, sexual intimacy problems are normal. Sort it out. Now, if you say, well, I don't like the way my spouse treats me intimately, talk about it and sort it out. If you go about looking for somebody who is going to treat you better, then you are going to destroy a possibly beautiful relationship. Everywhere, in every marriage, there are different problems, and then couples sit down, they talk about it, they learn, they apply what they have learned, and they sort it out. Go for couple class, find some good sex class if need be, and learn together as husband and wife. Number 7, sexual intimacy between married couple is holy. I like that part of this discussion. It's holy, it's fun, and it's medicinal. Now, what that means is that you're not committing any sin by being sexually intimate with your partner. I know that as a newlywed, you may feel a bit awkward when you're starting to get intimate with your partner. You get used to it as time goes on. Number 8, initiating sexual intimacy is healthy and the only way to express sexual desire. You cannot say that you have sexual desire for your spouse and you are in gym, you're staying in the sitting room, and your spouse is waiting for you in the bedroom. You have to express it and make them know that you also desire them. Number 9, when it comes to satisfying your partner, what works for one couple is not going to work for you. So if your friend tells you about what they do behind the doors that makes her or him happy, may not work for you. Because the truth is, in marriage, sexual intimacy is more of an adventure. The more you discover, the better you become. So what one partner likes may not be what works for one couple. The style, the method that works for one couple may not work for the other couple. Number 10, it is more than just fulfilling a marital obligation. Sexual intimacy is more than just fulfilling marital obligation. Well, since you're my wife, I have a right to be intimate with you. Well, since you're my husband, you must be intimate with me. It doesn't work like that. Intimacy should come in such a way that husband and wife enjoy it. They have fun. They look forward to it. It's not something that when you don't do so, I am angry. You also need to find out, why is my partner not even interested in intimacy, and see how to sort it out. You also don't have to be selfish, going about always saying, I'm tired, I'm not interested. You are going to just piss the other person off. So it is more than just fulfilling a marital obligation. It is pleasure, and I believe it is worship to God, because it is expected that intimacy should occur in a marriage. Number 11. Now, this is something you must know as a newlywed. There is a thin line between turn on and turn off. So what that means is, you can have a spouse who is turned on this moment, and something happened, they are turned off the next moment. So the timing between a turn on and turn off is very thin. And a man can be turned on by what he sees. It's not the same for a woman. A woman may not be turned on by what she sees, she may be turned on by touches, by look. So you need to know, if you are going to enjoy sexual intimacy, what turns your partner on, what can turn your partner off. And I think that partners should not use what can turn the other person off as a way to pay them back. When you turn them on, go all the way to fulfill what you have started. Number 12, what excites you may not excite your partner, because sexual intimacy is give and take. So you give something, you get something. What excites you is different. What excites him or her is different. You must learn that about each other and apply it when there is need. Number 13, the first and the main reason for sexual intimacy is not to have children. So don't get married and think, well, we have been intimate 3 times and I'm not pregnant. That's not what you should be thinking about. You should first think about, we have been intimate this time, I enjoy it, my partner is happy, we're having fun, well, our marriage is going well, before you start talking about children. Some people get married and they have only been intimate a few times and they get worried that they are not pregnant. Did you get married just because you want to have children? If you focus your attention on having children, just because that's the main reason for getting married. So when the children comes, what happened? If you don't have all the fun and enjoyment and pleasure before the children come, you may never have it in the same way when the children come. Now, number 14, genitals are not the only organs responsible for sexual pleasure. So don't think that, well, because we're going to be intimate, so you just bear your sexual organ. There are other parts of the body. You see the reason why I say sexual intimacy is an adventure? You discover it. Now, number 15, I want you to know that if God is not in the center of your marriage, nothing is going to work. All of this that I have said would mean nothing if God is not in the center of your marriage. So you may do all of this and do even more for your partner, and God is absent. They will only get to just enjoy it short time and they're gone. So the best way to keep your marriage is make God the center of your marriage. Now, if you're making God the center of your marriage, congratulations. Keep praying for your spouse. Uphold your marriage in prayer and uphold your children in prayer. I will be glad to hear from you if you will comment in this video, or if you send me a direct message, maybe for counseling or to pray with you. Till then, God bless your marriage. Bye.